There's something heartbreaking about seeing a once-trusted car brand fall from grace. For years, these automakers built reputations on rock-solid engineering, bulletproof reliability, and customer trust. But fast forward to today, and it's a different story. The check engine lights flash more often, the recalls never seem to stop, and customer loyalty is wearing thin. In this video, we're digging into 7 car manufacturers that were once champions of reliability but have since stumbled hard. Whether it's due to corporate mismanagement, cost-cutting, bad engineering, or just losing sight of what made them great, these automakers are no longer the reliability kings they used to be. This isn't about bashing companies for fun. It's about how even legendary names can lose their way. And maybe, just maybe, it's a warning sign to the rest of the auto world. So buckle up as we look at the rise and decline of brands that once gave owners peace of mind, but now leave them second-guessing their purchase. Number 7. Honda. In the 1990s and 2000s, Honda was at the pinnacle of automotive reliability. The Civic, Accord, and CR-V weren't just good cars, they were benchmarks. You could count on them to deliver hundreds of thousands of miles with minimal fuss. Honda built its reputation on engineering over flash. Every bolt, gasket, and hose felt like it was built to last. These cars had simple, naturally aspirated engines paired with rock-solid manual and 5-speed automatic transmissions. You didn't just buy a Honda, you invested in peace of mind. That golden era now feels like a distant memory. Over the past decade, Honda has pivoted hard, and not always for the better. The biggest shift came with the widespread adoption of CVT transmissions. While designed to improve fuel efficiency, they introduced a slew of problems. Owners have reported issues like delayed acceleration, sudden shudders, and, in some cases, complete failure. It's a far cry from the smooth, long-lasting automatics that used to define the brand. Then came the turbochargers. While these new engines promise more power and better fuel economy, they've added layers of complexity. And with complexity comes risk. Turbo failures, oil dilution, and unexpected repair bills have become far more common. The simple, maintenance-light Hondas of the past are increasingly rare. And it's not just mechanical reliability that's taken a hit. Honda's new models are crammed with infotainment systems and digital dashboards that often glitch or freeze. Electrical issues, from faulty sensors to flickering screens, are becoming a more frequent complaint. Even the interior build quality has slipped. Creaky panels and rattling trims are things you never expected from a Honda. But they're now part of the ownership experience for many. Honda hasn't completely fallen off a cliff. Their cars still rank above average in many reliability studies, but the shine has faded. What was once the gold standard for dependable transportation now feels more like a brand coasting on its past. Enthusiasts and longtime fans can't help but ask, where did the old Honda go? Number 6. Toyota. For decades, Toyota was considered the gold standard of automotive reliability, a brand almost mythologized for building cars that just wouldn't die. From bulletproof Camrys to unstoppable Land Cruisers, Toyota's reputation for invincibility wasn't just marketing. It was earned, mile after mile. But that myth is starting to show some cracks. Ask longtime Toyota owners, and you'll hear a common theme. Newer models don't feel quite the same. Build quality, once rock solid, now seems diluted. Step into a modern Camry or Corolla and you'll notice more hard plastics, thinner panels, and an overall sense that cost-cutting has crept into the design. Interiors that once felt over-engineered now feel just average. Under the hood, the story continues. Many 2010s-era Toyota engines, especially the 2.4L four-cylinders, have developed a reputation for excessive oil consumption. Owners report needing to top off oil between changes, something unheard of in the Toyotas of the 90s and early 2000s. Transmission issues have also begun to surface in newer models. Toyota's 8-speed automatic, found in vehicles like the Camry and RAV4, has drawn complaints for rough shifts, hesitation, and inconsistent behavior. The driving experience, once smooth and predictable, has become jittery and less refined. Even Toyota trucks, long seen as bastions of toughness, haven't been immune. The Tacoma, especially post-2016 models, has faced criticism for rust-prone frames and an awkward, jerky drivetrain. The once revered workhorse now has a reputation that's more mixed than legendary. And while Toyota has embraced modern tech, it hasn't always nailed the execution. Infotainment systems lag, freeze, and often lack the intuitive simplicity Toyota was known for. It's the kind of thing that may seem small, until you're wrestling with your screen at 70 mph. Toyota hasn't collapsed, not by any means, but the brand that once set the bar for reliability is no longer untouchable. The cracks may be small for now, but in a company built on trust and long-term quality, even small flaws speak volumes. Number 5. Volkswagen. Volkswagen once carried the promise of affordable German engineering, the best of precision and performance, without the luxury badge. In the early 2000s, cars like the Jetta, Passat, and Golf gave drivers real hope. They looked good, drove well, and felt more upscale than their Japanese or American counterparts. For a moment, it seemed like VW might become the perfect blend of style, performance, and reliability. But that promise didn't last. One of the biggest pitfalls was the introduction of DSG, direct shift gearbox transmissions. On paper, it was a marvel. Faster shifts, better efficiency, and a more connected driving feel. In reality, jerky takeoffs, clutch wear, expensive mechatronics unit failures, and software bugs that drove owners up the wall. Repairs weren't just frequent, they were brutally expensive. Then came the TSI engines, another high-tech offering that brought turbocharged efficiency and punch. Unfortunately, they also brought headaches. Timing chain tensioner failures, excessive oil consumption, and severe carbon buildup plagued these engines. VW eventually addressed some of these problems, but only after many drivers faced massive out-of-pocket costs or catastrophic engine damage. And of course, we can't talk about Volkswagen's downfall without mentioning Dieselgate. In 2015, the world learned that VW had installed defeat devices to cheat emissions tests. It wasn't just a PR nightmare, it was a trust killer. Recalls, lawsuits, buybacks, and billions in fines followed. For many customers, that scandal was the final straw. Even today, owning a Volkswagen is a mixed bag. They still offer a solid driving experience and stylish interiors, but the long-term reliability just isn't there. Repairs are often complicated, dealership service costs are sky-high, and finding a specialist for common issues isn't always easy, especially in less urban areas. Volkswagen hasn't lost its engineering talent. The cars are still clever and refined. But when it comes to ownership experience, the brand has become synonymous with high maintenance, frustrating repairs, and broken promises. For many former fans, that German precision just isn't worth the stress anymore. Number 4. Nissan. There was a time when Nissan stood proudly alongside Honda and Toyota as one of Japan's most respected automakers. The Maxima earned the nickname four-door sports car for a reason. The Altima delivered a perfect blend of comfort and performance, while the Z cars from the 240Z to the 350Z were enthusiast icons. Even the Pathfinder had real off-road chops. Nissan was innovative, exciting, and reliable. But that high point feels like a distant memory. Much of Nissan's downfall can be traced to its aggressive push towards CVT, continuously variable transmission technology. While meant to improve fuel efficiency and lower emissions, these gearless transmissions turned into a widespread headache. Overheating, slipping, and total failure became common complaints, especially in the Altima, Rogue, and Sentra. The company extended warranties to patch the issue, but the damage to their reputation was already done. At the same time, Nissan began cutting corners across the board. Interior materials got cheaper, cabin noise insulation diminished, and build quality suffered. Cars that once felt premium now felt like they were built to meet a rental car fleet quota. It was clear that the company was prioritizing volume and cost over long-term value and quality. What made it worse was the loss of identity. Once known for sporty, character-rich vehicles, Nissan's lineup became generic and uninspired. The Sentra, Versa, and even the Altima began to blur together with bland designs, underwhelming performance, and very little that stood out. Enthusiasts turned elsewhere, and even longtime fans started questioning what Nissan stood for anymore. As a result, resale values have taken a hit. Compared to their Honda and Toyota counterparts, used Nissans depreciate much faster, making them less appealing to both buyers and lessors. Reliability concerns and lackluster build quality don't help. Today, Nissan still sells cars, and some models, like the new Z, show glimpses of their former glory. But for many, the brand has become a shadow of what it used to be. From industry leader to budget brand, Nissan's fall from grace is one of the most disappointing stories in the automotive world. Number 3. Mazda. Mazda once carved out a unique spot in the automotive world, a brand that blended reliability with a genuine sense of driving excitement. The early 2000s were a golden era for the company. The Mazda 3 and Mazda 6 were sharp-handling, well-built and affordable alternatives to the usual suspects like Toyota and Honda. The MX-5 Miata continued to be a lightweight icon. It was the zoom era, and Mazda seemed like the fun, smart choice for car buyers who wanted a bit more soul. But lately, that image is beginning to crack. While modern Mazdas look fantastic, often punching above their price range in design and refinement, there are growing complaints beneath the surface. Infotainment systems have become a common frustration. Laggy interfaces, screen freezes, unresponsive touch controls, and Bluetooth dropouts are all being reported, especially in newer Mazda 3s and CX models. For a brand positioning itself as premium light, these tech bugs feel out of place. Build quality, once a Mazda strength, has also taken a hit. Interior materials may look upscale at first glance, but owners are noticing more squeaks, rattles, and premature wear. Electrical gremlins, such as faulty sensors and dashboard warnings, have started to creep into forums and service centers. And in rust-prone regions, the dreaded corrosion issue still lingers, particularly in wheel wells and undercarriages. Another hurdle is Mazda's limited dealer network. Compared to brands like Toyota or Ford, Mazda dealerships are far fewer and farther between. This can make it harder for owners to get quality service, especially when dealing with warranty work or less common repairs. Some have reported long wait times for parts or appointments, adding frustration to ownership. Mazda isn't in crisis. Their cars still handle well and have solid engines, but the brand that once quietly outshone the competition in quality is no longer as bulletproof. The soul is still there, but the cracks are becoming harder to ignore. As more owners speak up, the question becomes, Can Mazda return to form, or will it continue to slide under the radar? Number 2. Hyundai Kia. Hyundai and Kia's rise is one of the most dramatic transformations in automotive history. In the early 2000s, they were often mocked for poor quality and bargain bin appeal. But by the 2010s, the Korean duo had completely flipped the script, offering stylish designs, impressive features, and unbeatable value, all backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty that screamed confidence. And for a while, that confidence seemed well-earned. The Sonata, Elantra, Optima, and Sorento started stacking up awards and sales. Hyundai's Genesis line gained luxury credibility. Kia became a force with the Telluride and Stinger. It felt like the underdogs had finally become top-tier players. But that winning streak hasn't aged well. One of the biggest blows has been the ongoing engine fire crisis. Hundreds of thousands of vehicles equipped with the Theta 2 engine found in popular models like the Sonata, Santa Fe, and Sportage were recalled due to fire risks. The causes ranged from oil leaks to defective manufacturing, and the fallout included class action lawsuits and massive settlements. Even with updates and extended warranties, the damage to consumer trust has been significant. Then came the viral theft wave, the now infamous Kia Boys phenomenon. Millions of 2011-2021 Hyundai and Kia models were built without basic engine immobilizers, making them absurdly easy to steal, using nothing more than a USB cable. Social media videos exploded, and so did theft numbers. Owners were left to deal with increased insurance premiums, denied coverage, and a brand new layer of frustration. Hyundai and Kia were slow to respond, and their software fixes weren't available quickly enough for many. While their newer EVs and sleek redesigns have gotten attention, especially the Ioniq 5 and EV6, these wins are overshadowed by the lingering reliability questions and security concerns. Underneath the bold styling and futuristic dashboards, a sense of fragility has returned. Hyundai and Kia proved they could rise, but now they're being tested again. And this time, flashy design and long warranties might not be enough to keep customers loyal if the core issues aren't fixed for good. Number 1. Subaru. Subaru built its brand on rugged charm, symmetrical all-wheel drive, and a promise of go-anywhere reliability. Models like the Outback, Forester, and Crosstrek became the default choice for mountain town dwellers, national park explorers, and snow state commuters. With their outdoorsy image and quirky underdog appeal, Subarus won the hearts of millions and earned one of the most loyal fan bases in the car world. But over the years, cracks have started to show, literally and figuratively. It all starts with the infamous head gasket issue. For much of the 2000s, Subaru's 2.5L Boxer engines were plagued by head gasket failures. Coolant leaks, oil seepage, and overheating were far too common, and the fix wasn't cheap. Despite how widespread the problem became, Subaru was slow to respond. They didn't truly resolve the issue until well into the next decade, and by then, many loyal owners had already paid the price. Then came the rise of CVTs, continuously variable transmissions, now used in nearly every Subaru model. While meant to improve fuel economy, these gearboxes brought a new wave of complaints: shuddering, hesitation, jerky engagement, and premature failure. In vehicles designed for all-weather capability and dependability, unreliable transmissions were the last thing customers expected. Beyond mechanical woes, Subaru's build quality has come under fire. Owners report excessive oil consumption, especially in certain engines, and rust is a major problem in colder climates. Paint is often thin and chips easily. Interior materials, once praised for their no-nonsense durability, now feel cheap and wear quickly. Despite all of this, Subaru continues to enjoy strong sales thanks in part to clever marketing and a strong brand identity. People still want to love their Subarus. The rugged, outdoorsy image is powerful, and the AWD system is genuinely excellent. But the question is, how long can that image hold up against growing evidence of declining quality? Subaru hasn't crashed and burnt, but the brand that once thrived on dependability now seems to be riding more on emotion than engineering. For a company built on trust, that's a slippery slope. So there you have it. 7 automakers that once stood tall for reliability, but have seen their reputations take a serious hit. Some are making comebacks, others are still in denial, and a few may never return to their former glory. This isn't to say these companies are bad today, but when people buy based on past reputation, they deserve to know the whole story. Did your car brand make the list? Or do you think we left one out that deserves to be there? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your experiences. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future automotive breakdowns, insights, and rants. Until next time, stay smart, drive safe, and keep those repair bills low.